Very good morning, cadets. This is a revision video for 11th January 2021. A revision video for 11th January 2021. I know you are all busy in your pre-board examination. Still, once the pre-board examination is over, that means after completing that day's subject, please go through the video. Today, let us revise what we studied about Rowlatt Act. Rowlatt Act was an act passed by the British. What is an act? Act is ordered by a parliamentary body. Is called as an act. So Rowlatt Act was passed by the Imperial Parliament or the British Parliament in the year 1919. So passed by the Imperial Legislative Council. So Imperial Legislative Council passed the Rowlatt Act. Why Rowlatt Act was considered as an atrocity? Because according to the Rowlatt Act, it allowed detention of political prisoners without trial for 2 years. So Rowlatt Act gave enormous power to the government to repress the political activities and allowed the detention of political prisoners without trial for 2 years. So according to Rowlatt Act, the British police got enormous power to arrest any Indian under the pretext of political prisoner or a political activist and arrest him, that is called detention, arrest him and keep him under police custody for 2 years without trial. That is the reason why the Rowlatt Act was considered as inhuman act, because according to any law of the nation, a person who is arrested by the police should be given an opportunity to prove his innocence in the court of law. It is not permitted in the Rowlatt Act. That's the reason why it is called as act of atrocity. So Rowlatt Act is very much connected to the next one, that is what we say very inhuman, that is Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So the Rowlatt Act led to the inhuman act, that is what we speak about, Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Gandhiji started his hartal against Rowlatt Act on which day? That is on 6th April, and on 10th April the British police fired on innocent Indians. On 10th April 1919, hartal was started. And on this hartal, that is peaceful hartal, police lathi charge resulted in martial law. This you have to remember. And who took the command? General Dyer took the command. So on 13th April 1919, the infamous Jallianwala Bagh massacre incident took place. On that day, the crowd of village who came to Amritsar to attend a fair. I explained you already, because 13th April is a Baisakhi day. Baisakhi is just like a New Year day, New Year in Amritsar. So people from the village, they gathered in Amritsar just to celebrate the Baisakhi, but they were unaware, I repeat, they were unaware of the implementation of martial law on 10th April. So according to martial law, people are not allowed to gather in large scale. Martial law, today we can call it as curfew, shoot at sight. So the poor villagers, means the innocent villagers, they gathered in Amritsar to celebrate the Baisakhi festival, they were unaware of martial law which was imposed from 10th April 1919. So they gathered around Jallianwala Bagh. Being from outside the city, they were unaware of martial law. This is what I am saying. They were unaware of martial law that was imposed in the area. General Dyer entered area and blocked the exit points and opened fire on the crowd. So General Dyer was a very cruel British officer who entered the area and blocked the door, that is, blocked the exit point, and opened fire on the crowd, resulted in killing hundreds of people. His object, as he declared, was to produce a moral effect. So General Dyer was a so cruel personality. He wanted to produce a terror. He wanted to create a terror in the minds of the Indians so that they won't rebel against the British rule. So that is what he said, to produce a moral effect and create in the minds of Satyagrahi a feeling of terror. So why General Dyer? It is not an accidental. I repeat, it is not an accidental. It is an intentionally done act. So General Dyer done the intentional act. Why he done intentional act? Only to create the terror in the minds, or the feeling of terror in the minds of the Satyagrahi. This led to the very inhuman or infamous Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Cadets, please remember the dates, that is 6th April 1919, 10th April 1919 and 13th April 1919. Okay. On 6th April, Gandhiji decided to go on Hartal. On 10th April, British police lathi charge on a peaceful protest march, and on 13th April, the infamous Jallianwala Bagh massacre incident took place. Please remember all the points, because very, very important from the examination point of view. Not only that, even in future when you write any competitive examination, Jallianwala Bagh massacre, Rowlatt Act, you can expect few questions from that. As the news of Jallianwala Bagh spread, crowd took streets into many Indian towns. There were strikes, clashes, and the police attack on government buildings. The government responded with a brutal repression, seeking to humiliate and terrorize the people. So the very intention of government was to humiliate, insult and terrorize the Indians. That is what the very intention of the people or the British government, to humiliate and to terrorize or create a feeling of terror. Now you see the atrocities. The Satyagrahis were forced to rub their noses on the ground, crawl on the street and do salam to all sahibs. People were flogged and the villages were bombed. And so such a violence you can see here. The people were asked to rub their nose on the ground, means they were heavily punished. They were made to crawl on the streets, and they asked to do salam, to salute their sahibs. People were flogged in the villages around us, Punjab and Pakistan area now were bombed, and people were killed in a large scale after the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Seeing such a widespread violence, Mahatma Gandhi called off the movement. So Mahatma Gandhi called off the Satyagraha against the Rowlatt Act, because the very intentions of any movement, according to Gandhiji. Cadets, if you remember, Gandhiji always believed that if you are fighting against injustice, I repeat, if you are fighting against injustice, there is no need of violence. Means there is no need of taking guard or help of violence to fight against injustice. But here what happened? British involved in violence. As a result, Gandhiji withdrawn the movement against the Rowlatt Act. So that is what the Rowlatt Act and the infamous Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Okay. Hope you understood the Rowlatt Act and Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Now let us study another important movement started by Mahatma Gandhi, that is non-cooperation. Non-cooperation is first movement of its kind Gandhiji started against the British. So in his famous book Hind Swaraj, please remember the name Hind Swaraj. So what Gandhiji felt? Gandhiji declared that the British rule was established in India with the cooperation of Indians. So Gandhiji always felt that why British survived in India? British survived only because of our cooperation with them. Because when the British asked to pay the tax, we paid the tax. When the British asked to follow the law, we followed those laws. When the British were punished, Indians were silently accepted those punishment. So Gandhiji always felt that the British could survive in India just one of the major reason because we cooperated with them or we listened to them. So what he said that if Indians refuse to cooperate, that means if the Indians refuse to cooperate with the British rule will collapse within a year and Swaraj would come. So you say what a realistic and a wonderful thought. I repeat, it's a realistic and wonderful thought. If somebody is doing atrocities on you, and as long as you accepted that his atrocities or exploitation, he will keep on exploiting you. The day you rebelled against a person who is exploiting you in an unjust manner, that is the beginning of your liberation. That's the beginning of your freedom. So Gandhiji felt that British rule will collapse naturally. Why? Automatically. Why? Because the moment we stop listening to them, definitely British rule will collapse and will definitely attain Swaraj. So Gandhiji's non-cooperation movement, he had few techniques of non-cooperation movement. What is the technique? First, surrender the titles that the government awarded. Please write down the point wise. The first point, surrender all the titles which the government awarded. And boycott civil service, army, police, court and legislative council, schools and foreign goods. So, steps to implement non-cooperation movement. I repeat, the steps to implement non-cooperation movement. The first one, surrender the titles that government awarded. Take for example, today we have Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri, Padma Vibhushan. All these are the titles awarded by the Dronacharya Award, Ekalavya Award. These are the titles or the honors awards by the government. Like those days, British used to give the title called Sir. For example, Sir M. Ishweswaraya. The Sir is an award, is an honor given by the British government. So, if at all if you received any title by the government, surrender the titles. That is the first thing Indians should do. That is according to Gandhiji. Second, boycott civil service, army, police, court and legislative council. Boycott means don't write civil service examination, don't join army, don't join police post, don't attend court and the legislative council. Children are asked not to attend the schools. So this is what. So non-cooperation movement silently associated with a movement called boycott or reject. That is what the boycott. And very important, foreign goods. Those days, foreign liquor and British manufactured clothes. I repeat, foreign liquors and British manufactured clothes were dumped into the Indian market. So Gandhiji said that boycott foreign clothes, boycott foreign liquor, boycott any kind of foreign goods. When you boycott foreign goods, naturally the revenue of the British naturally goes down. That is the reason why he said boycott. In case of government used repression, a full civil disobedience campaign would be launched. Now Gandhi says, if when we do all this, don't think that British will sit silently. But if the British started punishing, then what we will do? We will do the civil disobedience movement. That is what he said. So Gandhiji started non-cooperation movement with the following steps. So in this background only, the Khilafat movement was started. By whom? If you remember this name, please remember this name. Khilafat movement by Shaukat Ali and Muhammad Ali. So Ali brothers started Khilafat movement. So the non-cooperation movement decision was took in the Nagpur session of Indian National Congress in the 1920. So please remember, don't get confused, because sometimes non-cooperation movement date will be 1920 to 22. Some books will refer 1921 to 22. Don't worry. The decision was taken in the month of December. The movement was started in the month of January. So nothing is wrong. So this decision was taken in which session of Indian National Congress? That is in Nagpur session of Indian National Congress, and it is adopted by Indian National Congress to not to cooperate with the British government. Please remember all these sessions, because map pointing, Congress session at 1920, you have to remember the place, what is called Nagpur session, Lahore session, Belgaum session. So many sessions are nothing but meetings. Okay, meeting of Indian National Congress. So 1920, where was the meeting? That was in Nagpur session of Indian National Congress. So meaning of boycott is given. What is boycott? A refusal to deal and associate with the people, or participate in activities, or buy and use things, usually a form of protest. That is what non-cooperation. So that is what said. Non-cooperation began in which month? That is in the January 1921. I repeat, the decision was taken in the year 1920, in the month of December. Which session? Nagpur session of Indian National Congress. Okay. Now, non-cooperation movement was not same all over India. Even today, you see, when you watch news, same news will be presented differently by the different news channels. Even though today we have fast spreading internet access, but those days, so it was very, very difficult. So the non-cooperation movement was attached with the Khilafat movement as well as Swaraj movement. Now Khilafat movement, I explained in the previous revision video that it was started in support of Khalifa of Turkey. Was Khalifa of Turkey? Mustafa Kemal Pasha was a Caliph of Turkey. Why he was removed from the power? Because he supported Germany against whom? Against the Britain. In what? In the First World War. Okay. So non-cooperation movement. Now we are going to study non-cooperation movement in the towns, non-cooperation movement in the village areas. There's non-cooperation movement in the countryside, non-cooperation movement in the town side. Okay. So how non-cooperation movement in town side took place, and how non-cooperation movement in village, countryside, that also we will discuss in the next video session. Meanwhile, please go through my regular video so that all the topics are discussed in a very, very detailed manner. I repeat, in a detailed manner. So non-cooperation movement in the town side. What was non-cooperation movement in the south town side? That is, several political parties were started. That is Justice Party by the non-Brahmins, and many schools. You see, the schools and colleges and the teachers resigned, lawyers gave up legal practice, council elections were boycotted. So, what was non-cooperation movement in the town side? Non-cooperation movement in the town side, schools, colleges, teachers, they resigned to the post, lawyers, they resigned to their post, means they gave up practice, elections were boycotted, and several other activities took place in the town. So as a result, what happened? Not only that, I told you, the foreign goods were boycotted, liquor shops were picketed, and foreign clothes were burnt. Now what happened? Foreign clothes were burnt, foreign goods were boycotted. As a result, what happened? You see the loss to the British government. From 1921 to 22, just 1 year, its value dropped from 102 crores to 57 crores. So there is a deep or a sharp fall in income of the British government because Indians boycotted foreign clothes, foreign goods. As a result, what happened? There was a sharp decline in the income. In many places, merchants and traders refused to trade with the foreign goods and finance for the foreign trade. So as a result, what happened? The import and export, there was, but how it is proved positively for the Indians? The production of Indian textiles and handlooms went up because Indians boycotted foreign goods. Naturally, the Indian goods got a lot of importance because of the non-cooperation movement in the towns. Non-cooperation movement in the countryside. Countryside is nothing but in the rural areas or in the village areas. In this, you have to remember only one important thing, that is about Begar movement. Okay. So Begar movement by Baba Ramachandra's Sannyasi movement or Begar movement. Begar movement, this 1 mark or 2 mark generally short answer questions. Who started Sannyasi movement or a Begar movement? Why it is called Sannyasi movement? Because he was Sannyasi. That's why it is also called as Sannyasi movement. So peasants were asked to work without paying them salary. That is called Begar. Okay. So Begar movement was started in the village side. That is also considered as part of non-cooperation movement. So what Nehru has done? Nehru began the Audh Kisan Sabha. Audh Kisan Sabha started by Nehru, and as a result, what happened? He tried to organize the people, especially farmers, against the British government. So the British East India Company, foreign goods, liquor shops were, there was a sharp fall in the foreign goods and liquor shops. This is effect of non-cooperation movement by the Indian National Congress or by the Mahatma Gandhi. So take care. We'll continue in the next session. I repeat, this is a revision video for 11th January 2021. Thank you.